Good morning. Public speaking makes me a bit nervous, so I'm picturing all of you tweeting naked. My name is Mark Gorlin. I'm chairman and co-founder of Kabbage. As he said, Catherine is a COO and co-founder. And if you haven't heard of Kabbage before, what we do is offer online sellers working capital to grow. The millions of small businesses that sell on places like eBay, Amazon, Yahoo, or even their own individual web store. We're doing what many financial institutions aren't. We're actually putting out money to help these folks grow. We have a patented underwriting process that allows us to take somebody from landing on our site, entering information about the place in which they sell, and have money in their PayPal account in less than 10 minutes. It's simply the fastest way to get working capital on the planet. If you've seen us here at Finovate before, you might know our business model. We use non-standard data that banks cannot see. We look at things like, how long have you been selling online? What is your customer reviews? What have they been saying about you and your volume to determine risk and figure out what the credit worthiness is of our sellers? And today we're here to show you something brand new, and it's got the industry buzzing. It's a new idea. It got us featured in Business Week this very week under the provocative headline, How Kabbage Crowdsources Credit Scores. While Business Week called it crowdsourcing, we call it social climbing, with a K, of course. For the first time ever, we're using social data to evaluate risk and underwrite businesses and actually give them more money because of it. So if you think about it, it's not much different than your insurance company, perhaps, looking at the color of your car, your zip code, or even your kid's GPA to determine whether or not you're a good risk or not. Social behavior should be a predictor of how well you're running your business. And while other people are talking about customer engagement, we're actually quantifying it and using it as a proxy for risk. It's been joked about in this article that one day you'll be able to tell people are better credit risk if they're playing Mafia Wars or Farmville on Facebook. And I think if we actually can find a good use for Farmville, we might be one of the most innovative companies around. So why do we care about social media? The biggest companies in the world are using it. GE, Ford, Procter & Gamble, all use this to communicate with your customers. And for the first time ever, small businesses, without spending millions of dollars, can use this type of technology to communicate with their customers. It's free, it's easy to use, and it levels the playing field. And small businesses that use it well are going to be successful. So you can see right here in Catherine's user account, that's the front page of Kabbage, and she's going to go in, and you can see she's already signed up data from her eBay, Amazon, Yahoo, and PayPal account, as you see the green bars underneath them. And she's already qualified for $35,000. What we're going to do now is add Facebook to that. And just so you know, in this demo, we're using Kabbage's corporate Facebook and Twitter accounts to do this. So when she adds Facebook, she'll select the Facebook fan page for Kabbage to go in. And you can already see the available cash in the top right-hand corner, or you can now anyway, moving up. We're instantly recalculating based on the information we've gotten, and it's gone up to $36,750. Now, what kind of information are we looking at? We're looking at the likes. We're looking at the comments. We're looking at the posts that happen on her account and putting all this together. Why? How much affinity do people actually have for Catherine's store? How responsive is she to customer concerns? How is she trending, positively or negatively, in terms of how quickly are her likes and everything going up? And how is she performing against stores that are selling like products? Likewise for Twitter. Here, she's already logged into Twitter, so all she needs to do is click on Add Twitter, and it'll take us in where all she has to do is authorize the app, and this allows Kabbage to pull down data from Twitter about how she performs. It takes us back to the site, and again, you can see in the top right-hand corner the available cash. We're immediately evaluating risk and recalculating what she can have, and it's now gone up to $38,500. Once again, what are we looking at here? We're looking at her followers. We're looking at her tweets. We're looking at her retweets. You might ask, why on earth would we care about Twitter here? The biggest and smallest companies in the world are using Twitter to communicate with their customers. And whether it's somebody who is offering a one-time promotion or talking about a service outage, Twitter measures customer engagement. And we believe engaged businesses are going to be successful businesses. This is pretty simple. It's not a very involved demo here, but sometimes simple is revolutionary. And we think mainstream financial institutions in the future are actually going to be using a lot of this data to underwrite risk. I mean, think about it. What if you knew that someone that listens to country music on Pandora is a better credit risk than someone that listens to indie rock? or the social games that you play, or even the news feeds you subscribe to on Facebook were more determinant in creditworthiness than some of the mainstream data that you use today. We've thought about one day someone actually worrying more about Kabbage scores than they do credit scores. And not because we're so special, because simply it's a more complete picture of who folks are. So I'm not saying that we're saving the planet here, but we are putting out capital to small businesses at a time that they need it. And it's boosting that important part of the economy when most businesses aren't. We believe that hard work should pay off. And whether or not you're expanding your retail channels, you're going into a different market, or you're using social media to engage with your customers, you deserve to be paid for that. And small businesses that mind the farm, or maybe even the farm bill, should be rewarded for taking care of that business. Thank you.